Ethiopia is one of the poorest countries in the world. It is landlocked. It has no coastline, no major oil reserves, and no global financial center. Yet right now, just outside the city of Bishoftu, Ethiopia is building what it claims will become the largest airport in Africa. An airport designed to handle more passengers each year than Heathrow, Frankfurt, or Paris Charles de Gaulle. A single project expected to cost more than $12.5 billion. This is not just a replacement for Addis Ababa's aging Gaulle International Airport. It is a gamble to turn Ethiopia into Africa's main global aviation hub, linking the continent to Europe, the Middle East, and Asia through one airport. For a country under climate pressure, rapid population growth, and limited resources, this raises one question. Why would Ethiopia bet so much on one airport? To understand that decision, we need to go back in time. Please take a moment to subscribe and like the video. It really helps the channel. Unlike many developing nations, Ethiopia's ambition in aviation did not emerge overnight. The roots of this strategy stretch back to the mid-20th century, when Ethiopian Airlines was established as a state-owned carrier with a long-term national mandate rather than a short-term commercial goal. While many African airlines collapsed, privatized, or downsized over the decades, Ethiopian Airlines steadily expanded. It invested in fleet modernization, pilot training, maintenance facilities, and regional partnerships. By the early 2010s, Addis Ababa International Airport had become one of the busiest connecting hubs in Africa, serving as a critical transit point for passengers moving between continents. But success created its own limitation. Bole Airport, constrained by its urban surroundings and elevation, began approaching the physical limits of expansion. Runway length, terminal capacity, and airspace congestion left little room for long-term growth. By the early 2020s, Ethiopian officials were warning that Bole would reach its maximum capacity within just a few years. The solution was not incremental expansion. It was replacement on a continental scale. The site chosen for Bishoftu International Airport lies roughly 40 to 45 kilometers southeast of Addis Ababa in Ethiopia's Oromia region. At first glance, it appears unremarkable, but from an aviation perspective, it holds several decisive advantages. The site sits nearly 400 meters lower in elevation than Addis Ababa Bole Airport. This lower elevation allows aircraft to take off at higher maximum weights, carry more fuel, and fly longer non-stop routes. It also provides space for longer runways without urban constraints, enabling 24-hour operations with no curfew. From this location, Ethiopian Airlines envisions an airport capable of competing directly with Dubai, Istanbul, and Doha as a global transfer hub. Phase 1 of the project is designed to open around 2030, featuring 2 independently operating Code 4E parallel runways and a terminal covering approximately 660,000 square meters. This first phase alone is planned to serve 60 million passengers per year. Once fully built, Bishoftu International Airport will include 4 parallel runways, parking stands for roughly 270 aircraft, and a total passenger capacity approaching 110 million annually, more than 4 times the capacity of Bole Airport today. These numbers are not symbolic. They place Bishoftu among the largest airports ever planned anywhere in the world. To turn this ambition into reality, Ethiopia enlisted Zaha Hadid Architects, a firm known for designing large-scale, movement-driven transport hubs. The terminal is organized around a central circulation spine inspired by the Great Rift Valley, the vast geological feature that stretches from the Middle East through East Africa. From this spine, aircraft piers extend outward, each with distinct interior color palettes and material choices referencing Ethiopia's diverse regions. But the design priority is not symbolism, it is transfer efficiency. Up to 80% of passengers using Bishoftu International Airport are expected to be transiting between destinations without entering Ethiopia. To support this, the terminal layout minimizes transfer distances, reduces level changes, and emphasizes intuitive wayfinding. Extensive amenities are built directly into the airside environment, including a 350-room airside hotel, dining facilities, entertainment spaces, outdoor gardens, and courtyards. The goal is simple: make long layovers seamless, comfortable, and competitive with the world's leading hubs. The terminal is designed to achieve LEED Gold certification, incorporating natural ventilation, integrated solar shading, photovoltaic arrays, and stormwater management systems that direct runoff into newly created wetlands and bioswales. Before any terminal could rise, the physical ground itself had to be reshaped. Ethiopian Airlines has already allocated more than $610 million to earthworks alone. These early phases involve massive excavation, grading, and soil stabilization to prepare runway foundations capable of handling the repeated stress of wide-body aircraft operating at full weight. Construction will be delivered in stages using modular fabrication and assembly methods. Concrete, aggregates, and steel are being sourced or recycled locally where possible, reducing transportation costs and anchoring the project within the regional economy. High-speed rail links are planned to connect Bishoftu directly to central Addis Ababa and the existing Gaulle airport, integrating the new hub into a broader national transport network. This is not just an airport. It is a new piece of national infrastructure designed to reorganize movement, trade, and connectivity across East Africa. But ambition of this scale carries a cost. At an estimated $12.5 billion, Bishoftu International Airport represents one of the largest infrastructure investments Ethiopia has ever undertaken. Ethiopian Airlines will finance roughly 30% of the project directly, with the remainder coming from international lenders. The African Development Bank has already pledged approximately $500 million and is leading efforts to raise an additional $8.7 billion. Lenders from the Middle East, Europe, China, and the United States have expressed strong interest. This financial structure spreads risk, but it also binds Ethiopia's future growth tightly to the success of a single asset. If traffic projections falter, if geopolitical conditions shift, or if global aviation demand weakens, the consequences would extend far beyond the balance sheet of one airline. To understand the magnitude of this gamble, it helps to look beyond Africa. In the late 20th century, China faced a similar strategic decision. Instead of fragmenting its infrastructure investment, it concentrated resources into hubs capable of reshaping entire regions. Airports, high-speed rail terminals, and megadams were built not for immediate profit, but to dictate future economic gravity. The difference is scale of resilience. China could absorb failure. Ethiopia has far less margin for error. For Ethiopia, Bishoftu International Airport is not only about growth, it is about relevance, about anchoring itself in global air routes at a time when logistics, connectivity, and speed increasingly define economic power. If successful, Bishoftu could transform Ethiopia into the beating heart of African aviation, a nation without a coastline that nonetheless controls continental air traffic flows. If it fails, it will stand as one of the most expensive infrastructure bets ever made by a developing economy. The real question is not how large the terminals will be or how many runways it can support. The question is whether a single airport can carry the weight of a national vision in a world facing climate volatility, shifting travel patterns, and intensifying global competition. Because at Bishoftu, beneath the concrete, glass, and steel, lies something far heavier than aircraft. It is expectation. And Ethiopia has chosen to build its future on it. This is Unthinkable Build, bringing you the stories behind the world's biggest projects. Subscribe for more.